I'm your host, Joel Perez, and you're watching Wrestling with Politics. And today we're going to be discussing last night's New York City mayoral election. And as we all know, the big decision, we finally know who's going to be the next mayor of New York City. Zohran Mamdani, he officially brought it home last night, and it's official. He's going to be the next mayor of New York City this coming January in 2026. So this was a big move, a big election for New York City last night, and there's a lot of reactions coming out due to the fact that Zohran Mamdani won. A lot of people saying that this is going to be the end of New York, that New York is done after this. And that's where I have my biggest problem with these people, because as we all know, New York City, it's been in big trouble for a long time. And New York City, due to people like Andrew Cuomo, who was in the election last night, has ended up one of the dirtiest cities in the world, one of the most expensive cities in the world, as we just mentioned, and a place that's more and more unaffordable for the working class and everyday regular Americans to survive in a place like this. And so it's no wonder why Zohran Mamdani's politics and his policies were appealing to everyday average day New Yorkers. Things like a $30 minimum wage, policies like freezing the rent, which doesn't stop going up in this city, and policies like offering free buses, which all public transportation should be free if you want to get to the root of that conversation. But Mamdani, for some reason, he's keeping it short at the buses. But regardless, these policies, these common sense policy positions, this election last night was finally proof that if you actually offer people something for their vote, if you actually offer people common sense policy positions, which will actually make their lives and make the world a better place, guess what? People will come out in droves to vote for you. And that's exactly what happened last night in this mayoral election. Highest turnout in decades. And it's no surprise because, like I said, instead of offering people war, instead of offering people loyalty to a foreign country like Andrew Cuomo was doing, instead of offering people nothing for their vote, again, like Andrew Cuomo was doing, Mamdani actually offered people something. And look at that, it actually ended up working. Now, I have my own reservations about Mamdani, and I'll be honest with you, I couldn't bring myself to vote for Mamdani last night again. I voted for him in the primary in June because I felt it was urgent that somebody like Andrew Cuomo couldn't win. But this time it felt like Mamdani had it in the bag, and I wasn't wrong about that. He did. He ended up winning the whole damn thing. But I do have to be honest here, and I have to lay out my skepticisms about Zohran Mamdani, because this might very well end up being the case. And my reservations begin with Mamdani over the fact that he's a Democrat, and during the mayoral race he made it very clear that he was a Democrat. During the debate, when Andrew Cuomo confronted him and told him, "You didn't even support Kamala Harris," Zohran Mamdani, he went out of his way to say that yes, he did support Kamala Harris and he did vote for Kamala Harris. And so that's repulsive to somebody like me. You shouldn't want to attach your name to Kamala Harris, and you shouldn't want to vote for Kamala Harris. But an answer like that, it shows that Zohran Mamdani, at the end of the day, he's a good little boy. He's not a democratic socialist. He's an establishment Democrat. And the more and more that I saw Mamdani on the campaign trail, especially in these last couple months, the more and more I started realizing he's perhaps not the progressive that he says he is. Perhaps Zohran Mamdani, and I made a video about this before, you can go check it out. Perhaps Mamdani is a Trojan horse being planted by the Democratic Party, like Obama was, like AOC was, like Bernie Sanders was, to sheep herd progressive voters who are losing faith in the Democratic Party, to sheep herd those voters back into the Democratic Party. And another reason why Zohran Mamdani probably was allowed to win, because usually candidates like this, they're not allowed to win unless there's something else at play here, unless the powers that be know that Zohran Mamdani, he's not actually going to deliver on all of the things that he says he's going to deliver on. And that's my biggest reservation. I agree with a lot of Zohran Mamdani's policies, and I want to see these policies get tested on the actual world stage. But my reservations with Zohran Mamdani is he actually going to deliver on these policies? Or is he going to be like what we've seen from the Democratic Party time and time again? Is he going to stop short of actually delivering on these policies? And if you stop short of actually delivering how you're supposed to deliver on these policies, well, guess what? It paints a bad name of whatever you purport to be. And in Zohran Mamdani's case, he purports to be a democratic socialist. So if you don't deliver on these policies, Mamdani, you're going to paint a very bad picture of what it means to be a democratic socialist. And that might be the entire plot here, because Zohran Mamdani, he might not actually be a democratic socialist, even though all the conservatives and right-wingers think he's a communist. He might just be an establishment Democrat. You saw him campaigning with Elizabeth Warren, with people like AOC, with people like Bernie Sanders. And what do we know about these people? These people are snakes who, the moment it came time to actually deliver on policies like Medicare for all, on policies like the Green New Deal, on policies like delivering a $15 minimum wage, Bernie Sanders and AOC, they were nowhere to be found in those instances, and they stabbed all of their supporters in the back. Is that what Zohran Mamdani is going to be? If it is, I have big concerns, and this might not be the win and the celebration that we all think it is. But regardless, I'm still willing to give Zohran Mamdani a shot. I'm still willing to see if this is actually going to play out and if he's actually going to deliver on some of the things he's talking about. Because even if he just delivers on some of the things he's talking about, that'll be good for average everyday New Yorkers. People need these policies at the end of the day. People can't afford the rising cost of rent. Under Eric Adams, the rents rose like 8% every single year. This is getting increasingly unaffordable. And if Mamdani can just deliver on some of his policy positions, quite frankly, it would be transformative for New York City. And another point in Mamdani's favor, we've never seen somebody with Mamdani's politics have direct control over a city like New York. Again, Mamdani's going to be the mayor of New York City. He's not like AOC. He's not like Bernie Sanders, who's one of 100 in the Senate, and AOC, who's one of 400 in the House. Zohran Mamdani, he has the direct power as mayor to make a lot of decisions in New York City. And so right there, Zohran Mamdani, he's going to have direct power to implement his policy positions. We've never seen somebody with this style of politics have such a direct power position of office. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Mamdani can do, because let's play it straight here and let's say it right out. The mayor has a lot of power. So if Mamdani wants to get these things done, the only thing stopping him is how far he wants to go. He has the bully pulpit. He has all the supporters. He has the power to influence and get these things done. And he also has a Democratic majority. He's in New York. So he has the power to get these things done. Will he actually deliver? That's the point we're at. He's won the race. Mamdani, you are now in the position of power, and you are now in the position to be held accountable. And I will hold you accountable. And hopefully everybody watching this video will hold him accountable with me every step of the way, because Mamdani, you're no longer running for office. You can no longer just promise people a bunch of things. Now you actually have to deliver. Is he gonna do it? Is this the big break that we've been waiting for? I personally, I don't think so. I don't trust any politicians, and I'm gonna have to see it before I believe it. For now, that's all I have to say on this matter. We've got a new mayor coming, and this is a big deal. Hopefully, this is a positive change for New York City. If you listen to some of the people online, they're telling you that this is the end of New York City. Well, guess what? New York City has already been in dire straits for a long time. Where were these people then? That's my question. But for now, I've said enough on this topic. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed what you just saw here, make sure to like, make sure to comment, and make sure to subscribe. I'll see you all next time.